Hey guys, welcome back for another episode of The Terrible Bull. As always, if you haven't already, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button and let's get into the video. So as many of you already know or have heard, for the past 6 years, Elon Musk has been working on an implant for disabled humans to control their devices with their minds. But recently, that hasn't been working out the way Elon thought it would. The U.S. Department of Transportation is said to be investigating Elon Musk's Neuralink over claims the company illegally transported hazardous pathogens. The probe is in response to allegations from the Physicians Committee of Responsible Medicine, otherwise known as PCRM, which states that Musk's company unsafely packed and moved implants removed from the brains of monkeys that may have been infected. PCRM, an animal welfare advocacy group, wrote to Secretary of Transportation Pete Buttigieg earlier on Thursday to alert it of records it obtained on the matter from the University of California, Davis, according to Reuters. The letters state that the implants were not properly sanitized and packaged, thus carrying pathogens that could cause serious health issues in infected humans. The latest investigation follows months of allegations against Neuralink, which is said to have violated animal welfare laws with botched experiments. If you didn't know, Neuralink is a brain implant company working on technology for people with paraplegia, which would help them control computers with their minds. While the technology brings hope to hundreds of thousands worldwide, Neuralink's implant development has been controversial. PCRM shared the letters from UC Davis, where Neuralink's experiments were held, with Reuters. The documents state the potential breaches of hazardous material transportation regulations in 2019, a year before Neuralink stopped working at the university. The letters begin the statement on January 16, 2019, in which a UC Davis employee emphasized the importance of training staff on the safe transport of hazardous materials. According to the letter PCRM shared, the employee wrote, "I wanted to let you know that DOT and California Code of Regulations requires all staff involved in the packaging and transport of hazardous material be trained hazardous material handlers." On March 4, 2019, lab notes state that a 6-year-old female monkey was actually killed at the university following experimentation. The monkey had received implants 4 months earlier and a month before the animal's death. Staff noticed a discharge seeping from the head implant. The staff believed it was likely a staphylococcus infection, also known as a staph infection. PCRM explained that this monkey, dubbed Animal 13, was kept alive on a cocktail of medications including antibiotics, probiotics, and pain-relieving drugs until she was sacrificed. That's pretty upsetting that she had to go through all of this just for an experiment. Eventually enough is enough, but as you can tell, Elon didn't care and just wanted to see what would happen until it was too late for this monkey. On March 4th, Animal 13 was killed, and a necropsy was performed, showing evidence of bacterial meningitis and confirmed the presence of many bacteria, including Klebsiella, Corynebacterium ulcerans, and as said before, Staphylococcus. PCRM stated that the devices pulled from the monkey's brain were shipped from UC Davis to a Neuralink facility. Another email, dated March 13, 2019, titled Transport of Biological Substances suggests that Neuralink may have failed to follow legal requirements in transporting materials on March 4. The sender, who remains anonymous, wrote, "Over the phone, you mentioned the explanted hardware from Redacted, but likely a reference to Animal 13 was packaged by Redacted and translocated off-site to a Neuralink location. Redacted has provided the training link to distribute to your personnel to allow translocation of hazardous material off-site from the primate center. Packaging of hazardous material needs to be performed by a trained hazardous material handler along with a completed biohazard notice and acknowledgement form. The form ensures that the biosafety officer at your institution is aware of the arrival of hazardous materials and is equipped with a BSL Level 2 lab." The message continues to explain that the hardware components of the explanted neural device were not sealed or disinfected before transport. This presents the hazard for anyone potentially coming in contact with the device. Simply labeling it hazardous doesn't account for the risk of potentially contracting herpes B, the email concluded. A similar incident is said to have occurred on March 15, 2019, following the death of a 10-year-old female identified as Animal 11. I mean, after the situation with Animal 13, you would think it was common sense to stop experimenting, especially if they didn't make any changes to fix it. The animal received implants 3 months before death, but the surgeon used a gel foam to fill in the gaps around the implant. Lab notes show that the head implants became infected, and a microbial analysis shows that Animal 11 had Staphylococcus and Enterobacter infections as well. Then on March 15th, The staff had to euthanize animal 11. Sounds familiar? A necropsy revealed that she had been suffering from an acute hemorrhage in her brain and that her cerebral cortex was tattered, meaning it was torn. The implant was then transported from UC Davis to a Neuralink facility. PCRM wrote to the DOT because this governmental agency is responsible for regulating the transportation of hazardous materials, including infectious substances known or reasonably expected to contain a pathogen. The animal advocacy group does note that UC Davis employees were concerned about the unsafe packaging and transport of hardware potentially containing pathogens from the university to a Neuralink facility and back to UC Davis. Deborah Dubois Press, ESQ, Associate General Counsel with the Physicians Committee, said in a statement, "The record suggests that Neuralink's sloppy practices pose a danger to public health and safety. In addition to investigating the incidents at UC Davis, DOT should scrutinize safety practices at Neuralink's California and Texas facilities where animal experiments are ongoing." Ryan Merkley, Director of Research Advocacy with the Physicians Committee, added, "How many federal agencies need to investigate Musk and Neuralink before they clean up their act?" Exactly what I was thinking. In December, a former Neuralink employee who worked as a necropsy technician had stated that there was actually no reason for the use of the sealant and that BioGlue was not FDA approved for brain surgery and would never be able to be carried over to human trials. It's crazy that they even tried it on primates. What if they decided to use it on humans before they got caught? Would the situation be worse for humans than it was for the monkeys? The neurosurgeon, Matthew McDougall, developed the BioGlue and instructed staff to administer 15 to 20 milliliters when it should have been 3 to 5. Handwritten lab notes show that McDougall ordered the monkey to be kept alive for days even though the animal was declining post-op, which was probably caused by cerebral edema. These monkeys were just two of many animals that have been sacrificed during Neuralink's experiments, which helped the company develop its brain chip that Musk demoed last month while revealing that it should be ready for human trials in the next 6 months. Would you let them experiment on you? I still don't think it's safe for any experimental purposes, but let me know what you think in the comments. Thanks for watching.